Todd.
Okay, good evening. Welcome everyone to the McIntosh County Board of Education's work session for January 8, 2024. If you would please stand for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear Heavenly Father, we do thank you for this day. We thank you for this blessed new year and the new things that it's going to bring for us. We ask your continued guidance through our education system, our community, and ask for ensured safety through the storm tomorrow. These things I ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, item number 3, citizens address the board. No one here. Okay, item number 4 is approval of our work session agenda. Have our agenda items before us. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Straggles. Second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Hewlett. All those in favor? Motion carries 5-0. All right, I'll turn it over to Dr. Williams now.
Okay. So the first little area is student success. So we had 2 professional learning days last week. I did ask principals not to overload teachers and give them some time to work in their rooms, and they did. Both the elementary and the middle school did professional learning around visible learning, which is one of their main initiatives for this year. And then we had a Power School Master Schedule Building workshop here for middle and high school folks so that we can learn to maximize and hopefully build better master schedules before students' schedules are ever released, so which will eliminate a lot of schedule changes. So that's what we did for professional learning. We have an FTE workshop coming up next week with some of the same people that was in the schedule building workshop to help us learn how to maximize our FTE as well. And then we have an overnight field trip. I'll put that there because that is student success. They're going to, do I need to pull that up? Let's see. It's competition for Skills USA. Mr. Todd came down today. He has a student that's actually going to apply to be a state officer this year. And if he becomes a state officer, it'll be our first one ever for the program. So we're excited about that.
All right.
So that is February 22nd and 24th, which is during our break that they will be in Atlanta at competition. If you have any questions about that.
Okay.
I was like, what happened? What happened? Where'd it go? And then our organizational effectiveness. Do you want me to cover those? All right, discussion of minutes from previous meeting. You're welcome. If you will read out through those, and if you have questions or concerns, or we didn't get something right, let me and Elsie know, and we will fix it. And then for financials, I will turn it over to Ms. Tammy.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
General operating. We begin the month of December with $1.75 million. We have receipts of $1.8 million, disbursements of $1.57, leaving a balance of just a little over $2 million on December 31st in the general operating account. General fund revenues and expenditures. With the school year 50% complete, we had period-to-date revenues of $9.17 million, which is right at 50% of our budgeted $18 million. And expenditures, period-to-date through December 31st expenditures is $6.9 million, which is 37% of our budgeted $18.6 million. And finally, general fund changes in fund equity. We're at December 31st, we have $6.2 million in the general fund balance. Are there any questions over any of that? Okay, on to school nutrition. That account has $360,000 $66,241. The school nutrition fund balance is $398,898. That's on page 106. Yeah. Local projects account, 1.76 million. Money market account, just over $1 million. Debt service fund, in the month was 3.1 million. Interest for December was $14,479. The East Lost receipts for December, $163,000, plus a little bit for the pro rata that they do twice a year, with a total balance of 3.3 million in the Georgia Fund 1 account. And that East Lost receipts for December was up 6.9% from December of the previous year. So we're still seeing good growth in our East Lost revenues.
Awesome.
Any questions over any of that?
I don't have any.
Thank you, Ms. Tammy.
All right, you want to talk about the next item as well, Tammy?
Okay, that is the transfer. I'd like permission to transfer at least $2 million from the general operating. We've started receiving the tax revenue, and I'd like to transfer that into the money market account so it can be earning some better interest for probably the rest of this fiscal year.
Oh. Facilities and operations, several updates.
Great evening, Board. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. All right, let's start off with the Oak Grove renovations. Rusty, if you could play that little video, if you take a look here. As you can see, the front of McIntosh County Middle School is now able to be seen from the road. We have our flagpole, the beautiful sidewalk, and that front entrance. At first I thought about brick to match the side of it, but when Mr. Brooker and Ms. Hewlett said tabby on that front, it was the right decision. It looks absolutely amazing. It's really, really great. You can't see there, but very well, but if you look, that the windows have been tinted there in front of the school, so they were getting so much glare coming in. It used to have the lunchroom and the cafeteria there to block it, and it was a little bit of shade, but now the sun was just pounding in there. So we've got that one-way glass that you can see out, but you can't see in. But it's not so dark that if there was an emergency that if you went up to it, you can see in it. But it's not totally mirrored out. But it looks absolutely amazing. So I'd like to say that this phase of the project is complete. We've done what we intended to do by taking the cafeteria out and making that space usable, and more importantly, the Oglethorpe Square revitalization. What I have to say here is take a moment to emphasize the significance of the project. You know, Oglethorpe had 4 original squares in its design way back in the day, and what this board has done is taken the initiative to approve a revitalization of that original concept. You know, Oglethorpe was a grand thinker, because when he thought of that, and planted the things he planted, he knew he wasn't going to be there to see its fruition. And just like we won't see those 9 oak trees that we planted, as beautiful as they want to be, but you guys have had the foresight and the vision for the grandchildren of our grandchildren to enjoy something, and that's big to me, to say we're going to do something that is not going to really benefit us, but years and years down the road, it's going to be something beautiful. Bringing our town together and having squares is big, and it brings Darien together. And thank you, Board, for approving everything that you've approved up to this point, because it's groundbreaking and big for our community and our school system. So the next phase, what's going to happen next? We've budgeted some money for landscaping, because it's bare bones now. We've got a blank palette to really make it look beautiful. You know, in construction, you never know what's behind the walls. It could be anything, but you get the right paint and the right plaster on there, you can make it look great. We have great bones, and now we can really decorate it up to make it look great. I had a company come in, Coastal Greenery, and they given them the whole idea of what we could do. They can build it out on computer program and show us what it could be and give us some prices. We're just starting to look at what we could do for landscaping. I envision in the middle where that flagpole is off to the left. If you're looking at the school off to the left, there's a second flagpole. There being a beautiful fountain, maybe a 3-tier fountain with some grassy areas, and then a circle with entrances into it. That's what I asked them to design for us. And then 4 more oak trees. Rusty, if you don't mind pulling that picture up, that video up one more time. If you'll take a look at the sidewalk, all that area that leads in is totally, if you'll bust out right there. Right there where the zigzag grass is, yeah, I'm thinking 4 trees right there that kind of hopefully one day will grow over and maybe encompass that or cover that walkway or just complete the grove of oaks that we have there. 4 trees there, some urns that are going to go in front of both buildings. We'll get a good look at it. We're letting some professionals design it. Again, we have money budgeted for it, but Dr. Williams went above and beyond, and she's found us a grant that maybe we can get. T-Mobile has a grant for $50,000 that we believe we have a strong chance of getting through the project. It's all about bringing your community back. This is tailor-made, dovetails right into what that grant wants about building your community and bringing the community together. This is it. I believe we'll get that if it's well written. And plus the money that we have, we can have something that's going to be beautiful. I always say, don't let the old bones of the middle school fool you, because within those walls, Rusty will tell you, is the highest technology that you can have. Now, interior is redone, cafeteria, gymnasium, and now the exterior. McIntosh County Middle School is going to be one of our best schools, even though it's one of our oldest. It's going to be great. I'm really excited about it. So just stay tuned for the next steps of what that landscaping can be and the potential that it has. And again, thank you guys for your vision to approve the things that you've had so far. Bathroom projects. So if you know, I want to bring this up, is the bathrooms at the middle school football field are not adequate. They're really not sufficient for what we have. We were having some throwback games there this year. Excuse me. This year we're possibly going to have our varsity soccer players playing there because we're going to let that grass grow. And the bathrooms just need to be addressed. I'm sorry, guys.
It's okay.
You all right? All of us got that cough.
Can't beat us, join us.
Not sick, just got a cough.
Can't beat them, join them.
So what I'm asking for you guys is to consider a bathroom project. We've done our due diligence. We have 2 quotes for bathrooms for you to look at, peruse, and if it's something that you want to do, we'd like to move forward with that. What the vision is that the bathroom, if you can imagine the field house, that long building with the red stripe, and then there's a big pine tree next to it towards the 99 side, right beside there, a building that matches the look of the field house. It'll have the red stripe going across. You have a drawing on one of them, what it will look like. 2 entrances, ADA compliant, wheelchair accessible, everything that it's needed to be. A really nice bathroom that we could be proud of, because right now I'm embarrassed for someone to go in our restrooms. If you'll take a look at that, it's a basic bathroom, but it will meet our needs for years to come and be something that I think is nice out there, and it will complete our middle school look out there and be useful. So as you think that through, and if that's something you'd like to do, we'll take a look at that next week. And then the last thing for the middle school, it seems like we're doing a lot with the middle school, but the middle school is our oldest facility. If you look at that fence that is around our football field, it's in really bad repair. Just 2 or 3 years ago, we took the razor wire that was on the top of it down, if you can remember back that. There was 3 strands of barbed wire. It really looked like a prison. And if you remember, the back of the field had these green slats going down it. In its day, I'm sure it was all great, but its day has come and gone. And that fence is not in good repair. It's all rusted out, and it just doesn't match the brand new, beautiful fence that we have in the front. If we want to just complete the look of that school, the fencing project, it needs to be done, in my opinion. So I'll have two bids for you that we have the money budgeted, and the first bid that we have was right within that range, and I'm waiting on the second bid for that. So with the bathroom and the fencing, our athletic part of the middle school is going to be absolutely beautiful, as well as the front entrance and the interior. McIntosh County Middle School is set for years to come. Any questions on the middle school, Oglethorpe, bathrooms?
Well, I have a question. You didn't bring this up, but the picture made me think about it. Those solar panels. So where are we with an update on that? The savings, or do we have the savings on
Well,
that? Or?
no, we don't. We haven't been making any payments on anything. They've kind of stopped that. The original installer who came in and did it, we had working with a company called Solar something, and I don't remember the name. They sold the company to another group of individuals. Well, when they came in there, they did their own look at the system, and they just felt like that it could be wired different. So they went back and they're rewiring some things and doing it to the new company standards, whereas I guess we're a little higher. So it's not costing us anything. Actually, it's just in a holding pattern. They're putting up a nice vinyl fence at the middle school, at the elementary school this week that will go around the solar panel control boxes. They just wanted to tighten things up and kick it off right, being a school, and we wanted it right. And so it was a blessing that they sold it to this company, because I think that our product's going to be even better with energy savings and a lot safer, because it does seem like they ran into some situations that they felt like needed tending to. So we're in a holding pattern on that. We haven't actually realized any actual savings, but we haven't had any cost at all. And
There's
we're
been
just
lots
waiting.
of emails.
Hmm?
There's been lots of emails.
There's been lots of emails, and trust me, I'm on that. I'm talking to them weekly, a couple times a week. Where are we? And they're communicating. And they've been very good about reaching out to us. I'm not chasing them like I've had to do with other situations in the past. Not at all. They are proactive, and I can see that they just want it done right.
Cool.
And then the only other thing that we have coming up, just so that you're aware, is that we do have an AC out in the auditorium. We've got our quote for that AC, and I think it was roughly $40,000 for it. It's a huge unit to run that auditorium. We are waiting for our second quote, and that's what's holding us off. It hasn't been an easy unit to find. We've only found one person that's had it that we could get it from now. So that's been what's holding us off from getting that second quote for the AC. So that's a project that I don't want to sneak up and all of a sudden say, hey, we hadn't talked about
You
that.
said 40,000.
That sound about right.
I think it's a 15,000 ton. I don't know.
I would expect 140,000, but
And I did not put the second quote for the restrooms at the middle school because it was over 100,000.
Well, RFP is required over 100,000, and the quote that we got in here was under 100,000, and the second quote was just a little over that. And so, if you choose and you want us to go with an RFP, we still can do that. But I want to say, as not for any pressure or anything, is that if we are able to go forward with it, the company that is going to do it says they can jump on it. It's possible they can get it done within the soccer season. We're going to have our high school soccer possibly playing out at the middle school this year, and it could work out. But the choice is yours. It doesn't need an RFP because our quote is under 100,000. The second quote is just because you require two quotes for over 50,000, I think it is, and it is over 50. So that's the reason we went ahead and got a second quote. So good question. Anything else? Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Mr. Moss,
Yes.
while you up there, you have a COVID update? Don't know yet?
As of this point, there's a few people out. There were some. I was on a bus all day today, so there are 3 or 4 COVID cases, but not more than 3 or 4.
We know we got a bus person out. That's why he was on the bus.
Wow.
Bus driver.
I don't think it's anything to be concerned about. It's been kind of steady. I think some of it is just coming back from Christmas. You got run down, and it's easy to get,
Oh, yeah.
get a little run down.
We've had a lot out with flu and stomach.
Yeah.
Stomach bug and flu.
You know, I often wonder how many people are getting sick and now aren't getting tested anymore,
Right.
and just toughing it out. So
Well, I can tell you, I've been at the doctor's office twice in the past 3 weeks, and every time I've been, it's packed with people, and nobody has COVID. Everybody has the flu. So if that lets you know what COVID
RSV.
truly is.
the new COVID.
I should have said
New
flu, I
COVID,
should have
the
said
old
flu
COVID.
update.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
COVID's gone.
Right. But yeah, I think it's just the flu. I mean, now it's what everybody's having, or that's what they're calling it.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
the
use that
stomach
word
bug has been
again.
really bad
What,
at the
COVID?
schools.
I'm not gonna use it again.
Well, it's still here somewhere. It'll be up in a few months.
Oh,
As
yeah.
long as we get ESSER funds, we have to go to those updates.
Yeah,
So.
we have to call it COVID for a little bit longer.
All right, next, discussion of the data center UPS revalidation. We're going to let him talk about it. Come on, Rusty.
Our backup battery in the data center is 11 years old, and the manufacturer recommends us do a revitalization on that unit every 10 years, or they will no longer allow us to have a support contract on it. So we are at the point where they said it is time for you to get a revitalization done on that unit. That is part of this quote.
Explain the quote being over that amount. So,
This quote was done during our E-rate bid last year, and so there's several things that were in this quote. Right now, we're only asking for the things that we're actually purchasing. Every bit of what we're asking for is in the budget. We talked about it at the budget retreat a little bit, but some of those numbers that Ms. Tammy says, I don't know, ask Rusty. So 30,000 of this is for the UPS revitalization and new batteries, which will last 5 more years on the batteries, and then in another 10 years we'll either be looking at replacing that massive battery unit that's in there or doing another revitalization. I asked about replacing it this time, and the manufacturer said absolutely not. Revitalize that unit and keep going. The new technology is not worth the investment at the moment. So it was a significant savings to do the revitalization over purchasing a new unit, and it is what powers everything in our data center. And then the rest of that quote is for support contracts on all of our wireless access points and our switching to keep our internet going internally, and as well as one new piece of equipment in the data center as far as our main interconnect. And we do not know if we will be purchasing that piece or not. It's in there because I was told on a phone call on Friday that we may be able to make some changes on our E-rate bid and get that next school year. So I'm waiting to hear back on that, but I am asking for approval, so if that falls through, I can go ahead and purchase this unit. It is to replace a 10-year-old device in the data center. But that's what all that quote covers. There's more stuff in that quote that we are not going to purchase, which is why the quote is much larger than what we're asking for. And again, that was all things that we had bid out through E-rate. Part of this is being funded locally, and part of it is being funded with E-rate, and all of it is in the budget. So we are expecting at least a $30,000 reimbursement off of this.
any questions about that?
Any questions on that?
Not right now.
I knew I couldn't explain that. All right, the next thing is the discussion of the state bonus for all employees. And that we will need to vote on tonight if we are going to pay them on Friday. So Tammy, you want to talk about those numbers for a minute?
So I guess everybody knows that I got the governor's great announcement right before we got out for the Christmas break to pay all of us $1,000 retention bonus. So, however, when they calculated the funding for it, they calculated it based on QBE earned positions. So it is not going to cover everybody in the system. So I crunched some numbers, and to pay all of our employees with the FICA, it will come to $230,822. So we have received $139,506, that funding for the state. We also received just under $6,500 for the six pre-K people. And we also have those two nurses assistants, which I will just charge that to that DCH grant that we have for them. So worst case scenario, we're talking we would have to cover about just under $83,000 to go ahead and pay everybody the $1,000. We're not trying to do half of it for the 49% employees. We're just giving everybody $1,000, and that includes everybody, and it includes the bus monitors. I'm going to crunch numbers in our ESSER grant and see if I can maybe shift some things around and pick up, $10,000, if I can find $10,000 to pay for either the monitors or the parapros out of the ESSER grant. But worst case scenario, we're looking at just under $83,000 in general fund to cover paying everybody.
Now, when we did this the last time, is this about the same that that we had to fund the last time he sent down these bonuses? About the same amount that we paid, or?
The last time it was $2,000, and we were able to pay for and they funded it differently. They funded more because they went by CPI. So
We just thought what we thought they were going to do this time.
Yeah.
So we actually got more funding the last time because of how they calculated the funding.
I'm not quite sure why they.
And just so you know, we do have that money in the general fund because we have those 3 reading teachers that I moved into the general fund budget this year, and Title I ended up picking those up. So we've got a little excess money sitting there.
Okay. All right, I make a motion.
Okay, motion by Mr. McIver, fund all, to pay all.
No.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? I just want to say that I'm glad that we can afford to pay them all, and I wouldn't want to be the one to pick out who doesn't get, because I feel everybody works equally.
I will
hard.
say that most of our I think every district in our RESA is paying every employee something. They are not paying everybody the full $1,000, but they are paying every employee because they feel that way too. So, but we'll be one of the first ones to pay, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Well, it kind of puts us in a bad position if we want to sit here and nitpick who we don't personally feel doesn't work hard when I think everybody works. All right, so we have a motion by Mr. McIver, second by Ms. McDonald. All those in favor? Okay, no one to oppose. Motion carries 5-0.
We are going to run those on Friday. Plans to run those on Friday, or to pay them on Friday. So. They will be excited. All right, then our best topic of the whole year, right? Calendar.
I'm leaving.
All right, so I sent out 4 options. Well, first, let me say thank you to the Superintendent Advisory Committee because they actually put every calendar together, and we just took what they had and put it onto these sheets. So I sent out 4 options, A, B, C, and D. B and D didn't get enough to consider. A and C are like right there together. They're both like 30% of the votes. So I think they like A because of you get the 3 days, like you get a work day and a long weekend where we used to have a whole week. C, I think they really like it because it ended on May the 23rd. So I went back and did a revision of A, which I sent to you today. It took off a couple of days, but it makes it 89 and 89 for each semester and has teachers coming back on July 31st, but it would it would give them still, graduation would be May the 23rd. So I'm gonna let y'all decide which one.
And they are good with that because, you can't say July and work in the same sentence.
That's what I was thinking
I mean,
about that.
we've been through
Well,
that part before.
Well, the other thing we could do with that is we could move that July 31st to May 30th, and they would just have 4 days at the end. And I was trying not to make so many at the end,
Right.
but we can do that.
No, I mean, they'll be the ones working it. I just know that in the past, for whatever reason, even if it was one day,
It's a mental block.
it's always
I
been.
know.
But I mean, personally, I
Well,
would
we
rather
can
have
go-
more
Work the
days in
same
the
number of
beginning.
days.
You would think you would want more days in the beginning than in the end, because what are they going to do for 4 days in May?
I do think that, and some of them made some really good points, that by May 23rd, the students have checked out, and if you're going to have high schoolers come back and try to do exams
Right.
on the 27th and 28th. But we can move that 31st date. That could still be new teacher, and we could put it down here.
No, I
I
was
can
just
still play with it.
wondering how they felt about that.
Well, they hadn't seen the revised one. You've
Okay.
seen the revised.
Yeah.
Because I took 2 student days off. I really want everything to be 180, but 2 days is 2 days. And
Right.
And C is almost like A. It just didn't have the same number. Like in October, where A has a work day and then a long weekend, it only had a work day and 1 day off. But I think the reason they like that one is it was May 23rd, not May the 28th.
Right.
So, but I can move that July 31st.
No,
I'm
no,
okay
no, no,
with
no,
that.
no. No, I'm not asking you to move. I was just
Okay.
wondering how they felt, because I know that for whatever reason.
Well, the one that started like July 29th or something, and then ended in June because there was more, or something, they didn't like that one at all. Like it was maybe 12%, or 12 people. It was very low. So.
I mean, personally, I would rather get out if I was working it before Memorial Day, but.
You said the majority prefers C.
A or C, they were both 30%.
Each one about 30.
So with that A, students will graduate on a Wednesday?
If we went with the original A.
So they revised.
And the revised one would back it back up to Friday.
Yeah. Their
Yeah.
revised day.
I like graduating on a Friday.
Yeah, I think that's the majority vote. And before Memorial Day is a preferred time. So, yes. Did you say yes out loud?
That was a good one.
Ms. Rollins, I'll put you on the
There's a
spot.
peanut gallery in here.
How do you think they're going to react to coming in on July 31st?
I agree with what you said. July and work don't go very well together. However,
For 1 day.
want to get out before Memorial Day, so I think.
Yeah.
But we
It's
can,
a give and take.
I can move that day.
No,
Look,
I was
that
just,
day is easy to move. It is easy to move. I was trying. Look, this is the math in me. Trying to be 6 and 6 in each semester. I can move that back to May the 30th. That's where I had it to begin with.
yeah, but what are they going to do for 4 days?
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, Elsie, I know where you're going with that. No, I mean, don't move it. Don't move it just because I asked. I was just curious because I know how,
Or what if
but,
we?
yeah, they will need more days up front.
Yeah.
I would think.
So revise A or C. Okay.
And they're the same amount of days and the same amount of teacher work days.
C has two
27,
extra
yeah.
student days, and like it's 10 and 180 and 10, or 178 and 12. And y'all have been going 177. So I really was trying to get it back to 180, but 2 days is 2 days. I mean,
Yeah.
when you think about it,
Well, you're the boss.
I know.
I'm fine with the revised.
Yeah,
That
I was
gives
gonna
them
go with
some
A.
time off throughout the year. I see those, was it 6 weeks from April to May without a day off, but hey, that's.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
But I mean, that's the end of the year, so you're just coming off of spring break and you're
That's
about to
right.
go into summer, so.
And you got a lot of testing in there too.
Right.
It's hard to put
Well,
a day
that would
in there.
help that would help free up all the schedules you needed for testing. Wouldn't have to work around it.
Well, we don't have to vote on this tonight. Y'all can look at it between now and
With the
Thursday.
revised.
Yep, me too.
Just bring us your recommendation.
Revised
Yes.
is my
All right,
pick.
but my next question was, do you want me to go ahead and do it for 25, 26 using the same framework and go ahead and vote on 2 years? When we vote.
That's up to
I
you.
think 2 years is good
Okay.
because they can plan.
Right,
And the parents can
down
plan.
down the road.
And they know what's coming.
I'll work on that. I'll work on that from home tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go.
Since we're going to be home. All right. That's all I got on calendars.
Okay.
We did COVID already. The student health surveys, all the schools have either completed or are completing this week. And then I will start sending out reminds to parents to try to get them to do them. And I think that's,
21st century grant with it.
community engagement. We met with the Boys and Girls Club to talk about, they get a 21st century grant for K-12? K-12? Pre-K 1-2, I'm sorry. And, or pre-K through second grade. So their person that comes to evaluate them would like for them to extend that and maybe do a 3-5 grant and a 6-8 grant, which would bring, if they got them both, would bring $700,000 more a year into their program. So we're working with them because that would be our students going to the 21st century, learning part of it. So we met, we had a really good discussion. They're using our system goals and stuff like that to help write the grant. We were actually meeting with the grant writer. So I don't know how many the state's going to give out. I know it's not due until, I forgot when it was due, February? I can't remember. Anyway, we're working with them on that. And then I would like to say thank you, and remind me to say this again Thursday night when we're on television, to Darien Telephone for doing the Santa Land and having our children come over. It was a fun day. It was a fun day.
It was nice. Okay. Do we need executive session? No?
Believe it or not, unless y'all got something.
I don't.
Okay.
Anybody have anything? Reggie? Okay. Any board comments tonight?
I'm good. You need any more?
I don't have anything.
All right.
Saving
Well,
it for the television.
That's right.
Yep.
all right. Well, nobody has any comments. I'll say welcome back to the ones that are here.
Back to the new year.
Back.
All right, we're adjourned.
Back, LC.